is often thought of in two disparate ways. It's thought of as body weight type exercise using lighter free weights, and then in the converse, you get people like this gentleman here who's looks like a bit of a power lifter, lifting really heavy things. The training environment is aggressive. And so really the point of putting up these two different pictures is to highlight the spectrum of skills that you can really develop as an exercise scientist. You want to have the sort of skills to coach people, to train smaller muscle groups of the body to support general health and well-being and activities of daily living. And then if your desire is to chase after these sort of skill sets, then you can certainly develop your experience in powerlifting, in high level sort of muscular hypertrophy training or strength training or athletic development even. And so resistance training can kind of cover this entire spectrum. And the thing that really sort of translates across all of these is your ability to coach. And so that's having an understanding of the technical things that sort of underpin resistance training, but then being able to coach people through all of these different exercises really creates the spectrum of skill sets of the exercise scientist. This is something that gets talked about a fair bit. Having a client-centered approach or an athlete-centered approach. And so, what does this mean to you? If you think about that concept and you simply use the words in the title, it really means that the client is at the center of all of your decision making. Now, that certainly doesn't mean that the client makes the decisions. You should use your professional judgment, your professional expertise to guide them when you think is necessary. And they also rely on you to guide them with your expertise. However, we should try to involve them in the decision-making and the collaboration as much as possible, not only simply to ensure that they're part of the decision-making, but also to educate them on our decision-making process. And this effectively turns them into someone that has the capacity to learn and make their own decisions, and something that we talked about before, which is an important characteristic of a coach. Something else to consider, especially with people who are new to the resistance training space, is that new environments just like that can be quite stressful. And so what we want to be conscious of is trying to ensure that the environment is as stress-free as possible in order to promote their learning. If people are worried about their environment, or they're worried about the exercise they're doing, or they're kind of overawed by that, it makes it very difficult to focus on their exercise performance. So how do we make environments not stressful? Well, we really want to make it fun, we want to make it enjoyable, and we also want to make it productive. So try to create an environment that's conducive to learning. And really a big part of that is sort of using your human interaction skills. You might be a really funny person. You might be really into teaching and education. So try to use whatever your human interaction skill set is. Try to use that in order to make the environment comfortable for your client. It's also really important to match your coaching or your approach to the level of experience and skill of your athlete or client. And so what that means is that if you're, let's say you're training an elite powerlifter and they come into your gym and they want you to train them, you don't necessarily have to demonstrate how to do a bench press. That's kind of taking the piss out of their level of experience. So maybe instead of that, you go, well, why don't you show us how you bench press at the moment? Tell us about any issues that you might have when you're doing it, and then we'll go from there. Rather than working with someone who's a novice, you might actually have to show them exactly how to do a bench press, provide a demonstration, explain all the different safety requirements of the machine, how to set up the pins, make sure that your Olympic bar is the collars are spinning on the end as examples. And so making sure that your approach is suitable to them, how much detail you provide or how little, types of feedback, whether it be constructive or predominantly positive. It is really, really important to make sure that you're matching your coaching to the level of experience.